versus. I think enjoying. I don't know if that's other issues that had cropped up in the past few months related to Kenya football. But the key thing that I picked out from that was the fact that, in not too many words, according to the tribunal, the reinstatement of the Football Kenya Federation National Executive Committee that had been disbanded in 2021 by Amina Mohammed is there illegally.
Yep.
So, by virtue of the tribunal saying that the current executive committee is illegal, it means any decision that they would have made within this period is an illegality. And one of the key decisions that they had made was the nullification of the 2021 2022 leagues. And also it meant that it's just convoluted. It meant that for them cancelling that is an illegality in itself.
Yes.
So it means the teams that had been had won the league, they won it legitimately. Now the second and the ones that have been
relegated they should stay relegated.
Yes. The other key issue that I picked out from that ruling was the fact that to some extent they said yes, it was within the purview of the Cabinet Secretary for Sports to set up the what was that thing called? The committee, the caretaker committee.
Yes,
it had several names.
Yes, the caretaker committee. But now the other committees that were created after the mandate of the caretaker committee had elapsed were illegal. So in short, he's saying the transition committees that were set up immediately after, because remember there were like 2 or 3.
There's caretaker committee, and then there was transition committee 1.0 and transition committee 2.0.
Yes.
So the 2.01.
The two transition committees
they
were illegal, because what the Sports Tribunal was trying to allude at is the fact that according to the Sports Act, it is only the caretaker committee that can be legitimately, and even I think the Court of Appeal.
It's for 6 months, and it's for 6 months.
Yes, and the Court of Appeal and the High Court, of course, had given it legitimacy. But now it throws a span in that. So you see, they tried to cover themselves and say, you know what, we'll give it about 30 days, blah, 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 the CS, blah, 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 and all stakeholders. That's a flowery language of saying, shauri yenu ndo hizi kimeumana, hii mjisort.
It's interesting because in addition to what Ndong is saying, there's also this rule that even though the transition committee was there illegally, the teams had a legitimate expectation that the league would end.
Yeah.
So that's why we are looking at the league results and saying they are okay. And further says that, you know what, the best way to bring the football back was to hold elections, because the High Court had upheld the decision of former CS to disband FKF.
Yes. I think you've preempted me, but Ndong has broken it down very well. There are 2 main things in this ruling. Number one is that everything that happened last season on the pitch stands. And I think it was a ruling that was mainly probably arrived upon owing to President. Because the government cannot organize games to be played over a period of time. And then somehow they're illegal and a lot of money has been used. The president there that the government is overall. Whether the government did not do it in the right way, it is the government that did it. And that president, it's very important for the court of law going forward. 2 is the National Executive Committee being declared illegal. I think that was the easiest decision Ohaga, the Sports Dispute Tribunal chair, could make, because the High Court had already said that. Because remember, Football Kenya Federation went to the High Court, to challenge their disbandment. And they were told, no. Madam Amina did everything as per the rule book. The only thing she did wrong was she did not give you the outcome of the inspection, and she was ordered to give them, but everything was good. So Ohaga was not going to go against that. So the ball is squarely in Ababu Namwamba's court as it is right now. NEC, in my opinion, cannot continue being in office this time, despite a court order. All it needs is, it could harbor confusion, James. There could be anything that the NEC has to decide upon, and somebody will say, how are you going to decide upon something as a committee and you're illegal as per the court?
My question is this, Kwalimwa. CS Ababu Namwamba is a lawyer.
Yeah.
He understands law.
Yes.
The Sports Act came in via him.
Yes.
It was his brainchild.
True.
Didn't he see these things when we told FKF to go back to Kadanda House? Wasn't there an expectation or a thorough check, cross your T's and dot your I's to make sure that this is done in the proper way?
I am tempted to believe Ababu still has some cards below the table. He's not released all these cards. There was a stopgap measure. How do we move away from here? Firstly, it's like your car is stuck in a ditch and you are supposed to remove it off the ditch first. So you might not use the best methodology to get it out of the ditch, but let it get out of the ditch. So we banned by FIFA. How do we move from here? We are here. How do we move from this ditch that is the FIFA ban? And then now
shouldn't we move legally? Shouldn't we look at the laws of the land? Don't they supersede any other thing?
True, but Ababu is two things. He's a civil servant and he's a politician. He can make political decisions. You get it? And then he can make a decision based on what the law says. So this, and that is why I think here some cards below the table is the FIFA letter that came that unbanned Kenya saying, we have unbanned you, but we are coming in January. Wacha tumalizana na hii World Cup. Wacha tumalizana kina Messi, kina Rainbow, sijui nini, Alliance, kina nini. Kuna vitu vingi tunafanya Qatar. FIFA has relocated from Zurich to Qatar right now. Their headquarters are in Qatar. That's why Ababu went to Qatar. Let's finish all this stuff. Let's make sure the World Cup is done. We've crowned the champions and everything is done. Then we'll come and handle Kenya in January. That was what the letter said. Now, it means there is some unfinished business, which is now this. The neck is illegal. How do we now move from there? But as we move from there, according to Ababu, let's move from there when we are unbanned. Let's not get these solutions when we are still banned. And as well,
but
the
for
government...
us to get unbanned, we are going against our own laws, our own decisions, our own high court rulings.
Unfortunately, the government was in bad books with FIFA. Unfortunately. Amina was not seeing eye to eye with FIFA. She had no solution on the way forward. She had gone against a lot of FIFA things to get Kenya banned. Because FIFA had given a lot of conditions before banning. You know, FIFA did not just ban Kenya. They said, listen, return these guys to office, akakata.
Yes.
Rudisha hawa watu kwa office, akakata. Then the ban came. Now, Ababu being the politician and lawyer that he is, he wanted first to be in good books with FIFA. So okay, nafikiri hawasikii. Akajifanya, amefanya Kenya amefanya so that now he can bring them to the table so that FIFA can see this guy respects us. At least he did this. Now, it's diplomacy. Where can we also bend backwards to accommodate him? You get my point. But Ababu had to put the first card. So at some point, you preempted me. At some point, there are going to be elections. I think in the next year. There are going to be elections so that a new office can be installed into office, because now there are 2 court orders that says NEC is illegal. They can't continue running football. As I said, the worst possible scenario, somebody punches the other on the field. And NEC is supposed to, and he is a football official. And NEC is supposed to sit down and discipline that guy. And that guy say, you are disciplining me and you're illegal anyway. He goes to court. Or a cheeky man goes to court and says, they are in contempt of court. So at some point, all these illegalities are going to be solved by an election. When? Let's wait for FIFA to come in January.
This is 96.3 Nation FM, where good music lives.